T minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome to the Shine Your Light podcast. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Welcome, y'all. Of course, I am your host, LeChelle Hooks. If you are tuned in today, y'all are my family, y'all my cousins and them. So thank you so much for tuning in, coming to the barbecue, okay? And thank you for just being with us today. If you agree with the message today, I ask you to just simply share the live. Amen and amen. So, y'all see this beautiful queen over here. Hey, Lisa. I'm so excited for my friend, my true friend, my sister, to be with me today. I'm so excited to have you. We got Lisa in the building. Yes. So, Lisa, I'll just give you a little bit of information about the queen. She's a chef. I absolutely love when she makes me food. Okay. I freaking love it, Lord. And she's also an accountant and honestly a whole bunch more. It's a beautiful, wonderful woman that we have with us today. So thank you for joining us, Queen.
Thank you for having me.
We got a powerful message for the people today.
Absolutely.
I don't think a lot of men gonna like me after today.
Well,
we're gonna find out. We are gonna find out.
We're gonna have a great debate today.
Yes. No, it's not gonna be a debate. Sometimes our conversations do kind of turn into like debate mode, Lord.
Yes. Because we don't always agree, but it's always respectful. Like
and that's it always is. And honestly, we've had so many conversations before, of course, but a lot of times our perception of things is simply because of our experiences. We've had different experiences. Sometimes if you haven't had that particular experience, you can't relate. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But one thing I do love about you is that we definitely, have agreed on multiple things to disagree. And I think that's how grown women and men should be. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, once again, a lot of these grown men listening to this podcast right now may not like me after this, right? May not like me after this. Honestly, I think it's just going to be me, and that's okay. And that's okay. That's okay. Hand clap for me. Hand clap for me. My podcast. We gonna give y'all that work today, okay? So we were actually supposed to have a panel of beautiful women today. And, we had 2 cancellations. The reason being is because previously I had a panel of men. And that's right. They were up here, talking about their desires from women. Look at the eyes, y'all. I got to look at the eyes. Their expectations. Yes, Lord. Their expectations of women. All that good stuff. And I wanted the men to have the floor. I wanted the men to speak freely without interruption, without, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to hear, right? And so today I wanted to hear from the ladies. So thank you for showing up. I know you finna show out. I respect your opinion. I
Oh
respect
yeah,
who
no, I
you
respect
are.
yours.
So yeah, so we finna give them that work today.
All right.
So fellas, don't tune out. Just be open minded
And don't be
and
upset with us.
don't be upset with us, y'all. Sometimes men don't like to listen, but hopefully, they're open minded today and, hopefully they listening a little bit today,
And I'll
okay?
also say to tell the ladies to listen because sometimes
Go ahead.
us ladies don't like to hear certain things. Like they don't like to take the accountability. Sometimes the ladies don't like to take accountability.
So we're gonna get into the
I'm huge about.
accountability part.
I'm huge on that.
I know you are. So we're gonna get into the accountability part, but I am someone who, and you know this, I esteem men to the highest regard.
Mhm.
I look at men like, oh my goodness, they should be catered to. You are such a caterer. You don't play no games when it comes to catering to your man. I'm a witness of
Yeah.
this. As long as they're deserving.
Mhm.
But I esteem men to the highest regard. And I've even been called a pick me, because of how I esteem men. I believe
Mhm.
men should be honored. I believe men, I believe they should just be viewed in a certain light. Again, these are men. These are men,
Real
right?
men,
Real
not
men,
boys.
not
Men.
boys. So the
Men. It's a big
only
difference.
thing, the only thing with that, y'all, y'all only know one side of it. Y'all don't know necessarily the whole side of why LeChelle esteems men the way that I esteem men. Amen. So I also hold men responsible for absolutely everything. So wait, wait. Drop a bomb for that. Why do I hold them and esteem them to such a high regard? Because honestly, if something goes wrong, if the relationship is over, this is my personal opinion, y'all. I feel like they are held accountable. It is their fault. Am I saying the woman shouldn't take accountability for her actions?
Mhm.
Nope, I'm not saying that. But just like if the waiter messes up, you go to the manager. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
To
but I
me,
can't
it's
say that.
go ahead,
Shell.
queen. I know
I
most people
can't
will not
say
agree
that.
with me
I
on
won't
this.
agree. I won't agree with that because I have seen a lot of relationships
Hmm.
that go wrong, and it is the woman. It
Okay,
really, really is the woman.
but why did he choose her as his woman? He knew she was a Jezebel. He knew
Not
she
even
wasn't
necessarily that she
responsible.
was. No,
Why
not
did
necessarily.
whatever
Because
the
some
situation
women
was, why
actually
did you
do.
choose her as your spouse?
Some women do change, just
So
like
you
some men change within a relationship.
so you chose her thinking that she was gonna change. This
No,
is
no,
from the
no.
male
That's not what I
perspective.
mean.
Okay.
What I mean is this.
Come on, sis. Come on, sis. Come on, sis.
Let me come with it.
Tommy in the building too. Hey, Tommy.
What I will say is this: a lot of people.
Come on, because
And
they most
not,
gonna agree.
this is not just men, and this is not just women. This is people in relationships. People give out a representative.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When you first meet someone, you are getting the representative.
Speak on it, queen.
Rarely is the representative the real person. Now that just not may not is not who I am. Who I present myself to be in the very beginning is who I continue to be.
Amen.
But a lot of people are
Same.
not that way.
Right.
So he may have fallen in love with and may have chose her because of the representative.
Right.
And then as they progressed,
Right.
The real her showed up.
Now that's true, but at the same time,
Or
and
him.
and for me, I'm always gonna be the same as long as you the same. I had to correct myself because if you switch up, I'm gonna have to switch up.
Right.
If I feel like I have to protect myself against you, then I'm gonna protect myself against you type stuff. Even if it's me protecting my heart, but in that sense, though, he should have given it more time to really get to know this woman. Most of the time, these men go after these women because of the looks and not truly their character. But he should have given it more time. And then if she did switch up, why did she switch up? You know what I'm saying?
Because some like I said, it's a representative.
Right.
She wanted to.
He should have gave him more time, sis.
Sometimes, and we're talking about because this happened to me before too.
Right.
Where I've even waited, and then they gave me once I like
Like he's just absolute perfect, and then
once you put
everything
that
is on
guard
her.
down, and then he like starts to switch up. But then it's also up to the person that you're with to start seeing those red flags. Like you got to start noticing the red
And
flags.
whose responsibility is that? The man's. And
Not
that
all the time.
in that regard.
I'm saying if it's
Sister,
I'm being honest. You want to
most people are going to agree with her on this. Trust me. But really quick, let's welcome Tommy.
Hello.
Hey, Tommy.
What's happening? I'm the voice from beyond.
Yes, the voice from beyond. No camera time.
I mean, I
I
don't
would
have.
love you on camera. We can actually do. We might as well just have the girls and the
Should I
guys
scoot over?
today. We might as well have the girls and the guys today. Girls and the guys.
I'm the representative of all men.
The
But she's
ladies-
talking all the game to actually support us, so I don't have nothing to say.
I mean,
She is.
I mean,
She is.
And that's where we disagree.
It's accountability.
Because
It's accountability.
I esteem men so high, but I esteem men so high because of the weight that they have on their shoulders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
it's a
they-
lot
but
of
they
men
are
that aren't
supposed to be
willing to carry
leaders.
that weight. It's a lot of men that don't pick up that weight, and those are the men that I don't necessarily respect as men. But for the men that do take that ownership and be like, you know what, my family didn't work out, I'm just gonna take this accountability. Not saying a woman shouldn't take accountability for her part, but he just gonna take accountability. Like, you know what, I was the head of that family. I was the leader of this family. We're both leaders, but I'm the leader.
He's the leader.
He is the leader.
He is the leader. You're not the leader. He's the leader. He's
Well,
supposed to
no,
follow.
I feel like y'all both have leading roles, but he is. I do feel like he's the
He's the
head of
leader.
the family,
He's the
and
head.
I see, and
Mhm.
the fact that you agreed to that, sister, I love that. You know, we love those men who are going to lead. But again, the reason why I esteem men as such a high regard is because of the weight that y'all have to carry. But I'm also going to hold y'all accountable for carrying that weight. So everything, in my personal opinion, not saying women shouldn't take accountability, is y'all fault. Everything is y'all fault. The relationship didn't work out. It's y'all fault. She cheated. Okay, but why? Why did she cheat? What happened to cause her to cheat?
You're serious.
Why did you pick that
But,
woman?
I mean,
Why did
for
you
real,
pick that
sometimes
woman
you
in the
need
first
more.
place? Why did you pick
You
her in the
serious?
first place?
You right. I'm laughing, but wait. I'm like, wait, hold on. This is
I hold the
You
man.
dead
I
ass.
hold the
Okay.
man. Yeah, when Eve ate that apple, God didn't necessarily hold them accountable until Adam ate it too. In my personal opinion,
Okay,
everything
okay.
I can see what
falls
you're
I can
saying.
that
on
that
the
that
man.
that's
Everything falls on the man.
that's legit.
And it takes honestly a real man to like be like, you know what, I'm gonna take this and just call it a day.
Mhm.
And
I'm definitely a what did I do wrong type of brother. I am. I definitely am.
I
I
would say
am.
not enough men do that.
Mhm.
Not enough
I feel
men
like I need to
ask
go
that
back.
question. Like, what did I do wrong? How could I have, improved? And sometimes I will say this, sometimes it takes time for
Yeah.
them to come back and like reflect on the relationship for them and to grow up and to start to evolve before they can actually come back and be honest and say, well, you know what? Maybe that was my fault. Which I actually had recently where someone came and apologized for something that was something I complained about for years. And they just recently, light bulb went off and they said, you know what, you were right about that. And I apologize.
I love it. Shout out to DeMarcus. He said, "Thank you, Lisa," because you clearly are representing, a lot of
Well,
the
you're
fellas
welcome, DeMarcus.
right
I'm
now.
gonna
But
keep
no,
it real.
yeah, I'm telling y'all not gonna like me after today. I hope y'all love me, but you may not like me.
So over the
Right.
years,
Go ahead.
I've done similar to my ex-wife, and most recently I was watching, TikTok and the reels and all those things that pop up to like 15, 20, 30 seconds of like knowledge that people be dropping. It's very contextual, but you might be able to relate it to your life. And I saw a episode of J.R. Smith, former NBA player, played with LeBron James and Cleveland, and played for New York and Los Angeles. He talked about Ray Allen going back to get his master's degree. This is a long kind of analogy, but follow me. He was going back to get his master's, and he was like, "Dude, why are you going back to get your master's?" And he was like, I'm just trying to take care of things that I neglected over my life, because while I was playing basketball, I was concerned about becoming the better basketball player. So I just spent a lot of time on my skills, dribbling, shooting, all that stuff. I lost focus on making my relationships better, my family, my children, my wife, all that different, all that stuff. So, and himself kind of doing that. And then J.R. Smith, who is kind of looked at kind of funny because he doesn't look, he's perceived as this not smart person based off of some antics he's done on the court. But he articulated this very well. It's like, you know what, that made me reflect on all my career. I was trying to get better at my jump shot. I was trying to get better at this, trying to get better at that, trying to, better myself, and neglected all the relationships around myself. Mm-hmm. So I equated that with me during my marriage, moving my way up the educational ladder. I got expedited to an administrator at like 28 years old. I was a principal, high school principal. I was making money. I bought a house. I brought, my family together. We moved up in Miami Falls in a nice subdivision and all this stuff. It was
real man stuff.
It was real man stuff. So I was like, I'm making it happen. And I realized that selfishly, that was all me. Even though I said, I remember having arguments with my wife at the time. I got this house. I did all this stuff. I did this for you. And one of the downfalls to the divorce, one of the downfalls of the marriage was she said that she felt like she was by herself because I was working so hard to up myself and prove to the white people that a black man can still do this. I was putting so much effort in that I neglected. There were times I missed. I remember my daughter going to school in Miami Falls in second grade, and next thing I know, we were going to 8th grade graduation. I was like, "What happened? I missed all those years. Yeah. I missed all those years."
When you are the head, y'all, like what happens when you're at the very top? Everything like beneath you, everything that is beneath you, whatever is on you flows down to them. Mm-hmm. That energy, the precedents that you're setting, all of that, which is why it's so important for the woman to be such a support system for that man.
It is, but I'm going to it kind of comes back to what you said about the man being the head. It's so much pressure on being the head. I was taking all of the weight and it ruined my marriage.
Wow.
It ruined my marriage because I took the weight, and I'm not saying I did everything, but I was doing everything I felt a man should do to make sure that everybody was happy.
Well, y'all
and it didn't work.
To be in agreement. Not only that, but if we really want to go into that,
are we gonna battle?
No, but if we really want to, okay. No, for real though. If we really, really want to go into that, Tommy, I love you so much. I know you shared this with us. This is a part of your testimony. Mm-hmm. You picked someone that you didn't necessarily go after, but you picked someone because they were like after you. You picked a woman that was like after you. Is that right?
To a certain extent. I mean, we were, it was a trauma bond. It was definitely a trauma bond. I was going through something. She was going through something. And at that moment, we just at the sun, moon, and stars just kind of aligned, and we were just together. Right. And we helped each other through some very tough times. And that became a pact. And that actually can work. And it can work. Based off of your maturity level. I guess your maturity level of understanding what you have and growing on that. Like if that happened now, if it happened in my 30s or 40s, it would have been great. It happened in my 20s.
So are you saying for this that you feel like you should have just communicated more with her, made her more apart?
I could have communicated all I wanted. I didn't know no better. I thought I was doing I was talking and doing all I knew at that time.
Right.
I watched my stepfather come in.
Communicating with her and including her, so she felt all by herself.
Right. I made her sound ungrateful for all I was doing.
But you weren't catering to her emotional feelings. You weren't catering to her heart. You weren't catering to the things that she truly needed. It's a lot of men out here that's like, I'm gonna pay all the bills. You need to just hush on up. And just, seriously, I'm not going to be a woman that's good in that situation either.
Yeah.
I do need you to cater to my heart. I do need you to cater to, my emotional needs and, spiritual.
I understand that now, years later, but now
probably a lot of men that don't understand that.
Yeah, but dating at this age and then trying to understand that now is ridiculous.
Get into dating at this age because we all at that age. So we gonna get into that.
Y'all ain't at my
I'm
age.
just
No, we are.
it's just listening to his
Upper 30s,
situation
lower
was,
40s. Yeah.
was my situation but reversed.
Oh, really?
You know, it was really reversed. So I was the one that was like, I mean, but we were both in school at the same time.
Uh-huh.
I was the one, like, once we finished up school, I was like, you know, working hard on my career, trying to, you know, elevate. And then he was just like complacent.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, dude, like, what the hell are you doing? Like, quit dragging your feet. Like, we got stuff to do. And it was like that frustration of having so much weight on your shoulders.
As a woman, you're
As
not
a
built
woman,
to
you're
carry
not-
that.
That's I agree with you. That's different. That's a little different.
That's
definitely
It's a little
different,
different because the complacency is the issue, because the I guess the bearing the weight of recognizing that what you're doing is carrying the load. It's his job to actually recognize that and say, well, what can I do to kind of do that? Or to be
But see, he was worried about the emotions. How women are like, well, what about me and what about my emotions?
That's
what
how
about
he
loving and
was.
hugging and kissing on me? And it's like, I can't love and hug and kiss on you because I got bills right now.
Right.
Like, I'm not worried about that. Right
because that's not attractive anymore.
No.
like, I don't care about that right now.
Right.
Like, tell me what you're gonna do to get 25,000 more next year. Like, come
Right.
on now. And it's not about me being a gold digger or anything like that. Because I was,
No,
you know,
you want
it's
what
just
you provide,
I want
what
us.
you have.
I just left from upstairs having a conversation with a woman that was so like elevating intellectually that I all of a sudden start looking at her differently. Like I never have. Like this is an energy. This is a definite energy. So if you have the opposite of that energy, that will turn you off. Like the fact that I'm doing all this and
Was
you,
she turning you on, Tommy? Hold on. Is that what I just heard? I'm gonna have to find out who this is.
are you
I might have to
are you
play
the
the
new
third
Jerry
party.
Springer? Are you the new Jerry Springer
Sound
now?
like you trying to be missed.
Right. Sound like it.
He's single. What do you mean?
Yeah, I am. But I'm saying.
Exactly.
but-
I
but-
will be the the glue to that.
But if my ex-wife was complacent, she wasn't complacent. She was a move maker, and she was hustling. She was doing all these different things on the side. But she
wanted her husband.
she wanted me.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be me.
Yeah,
I
she
want my
wanted me,
husband.
and she didn't want to have to do all that stuff. And she was doing all the picking up and dropping off, and every so often I would do everything else. But I would pick up on the weekends, but on the week it was her. So as the man, if that was her doing all that, I have a problem with that. I feel insignificant being at home and watching that happen. So that's why I say it's a little different.
Yeah.
How about we just be equally yoked?
Like, besides that, I mean, then you still want me to cook, clean, and do all the woman things.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not the man and the woman. I can only be
Okay,
one
yeah.
or the other.
Mhm.
I'm not, you know, I don't have a problem with. It's not even about, okay, I make more money than you. But it's more so, are you lazy?
There you go. And that's not an attractive.
You know what I mean?
Quality.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I mean,
an
it's not
attractive quality.
even about that. It's like, what are you really doing? Are you just sitting around playing video games and doing nothing really all day long? Or
You feeling
are you
attacked,
up
Tony?
hustling, trying to do, trying to make ends meet or whatever, and trying to get us in a better space?
Yeah.
That's different. And you make less money than me. That's different.
Mm-hmm.
But if we got the same degree, literally the same degree, like,
What are you doing? And
what are you doing to try to make that work, work for us?
That's an unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So y'all, I've known. Oh,
I thought you were about to say
get on the
something.
mic. Yeah. So really quick, I don't even really know if I really went over the history of Lisa and I. Did I?
No.
I don't think I really did.
No,
so
this woman is and where she came from.
right.
Ooh.
Lisa's one of my best friends. Somebody who's gonna be in my wedding. I'm not dating absolutely nobody, but one day.
I'm about to say wedding.
Right, exactly. I can manifest it, okay,
Can
in
manifest
Jesus'
it.
name.
Yes.
But I've known her since we worked together at Fidelity Investment Services. 10 years
FIS?
plus. Yep.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah. More than 10.
Yep. So
It's been like knocking on 15.
15
Yeah,
years,
something like that.
15 years plus.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's absolutely one of my best friends, somebody who's been there for me at the lowest, my lowest of lows. And some of the highs too, and we'll be there, going forward, because it's only up from here.
Absolutely.
Amen. So yeah, this is one of my best friends, y'all. That's on the mic right now. So, one of my best friends. So, yeah, y'all. So once again, it's all y'all fault. Once again, it's all your fault. Not saying we're not taking accountability. That is the only way for a woman to learn. She should absolutely take accountability for her actions. She should learn from them and go forward. But at the end of the day, the fault of itself.
I can kind of feel where she's coming from a little bit. Just a little bit. I see it. It does.
I know
it does.
we do. But why do y'all think I esteem men the way that I do?
But I'm going to say
King.
this.
Why y'all think I be calling them king?
You are an anomaly.
That they have on their shoulders.
You're an anomaly because what you stated is true. There is fault to lie in the person who's leading. There is fault. That's where you're going with it. If I'm leading,
saying that she's not accountable for her actions. I see Tone ready to rip me apart, Jesus.
But the accountability that I brought to the table in reflection of my actions brought back to my ex-wife, because this has been since 2018. So what is that? 5 years? 5 years divorce. Her response was, there are things that I could have done better too.
Yeah.
Which is a
absolutely.
But that is a very, very rare circumstance for a woman to take. So the fact that you say that is fine. Yeah, I will take responsibility if there's some ownership, because in any and every conflict, literally any or every conflict, there's accountability on both parts.
So for me, there are different versions of me, kind of, right?
I'm learning this now.
No, you haven't learned it. Honestly, you haven't learned it. This is for somebody I'm in a relationship. Maybe you do, maybe you don't.
No, I don't know. We've had a lot of conversations, so we'll see.
But a man that I'm in a relationship with, real quick, Tom, a man that I'm in a relationship with, if you are a good man and you're pouring into me like I'm pouring into you, you're gonna get the best of me. You're gonna get, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get the best of me. If you are someone I have to protect my heart from, you become disrespectful. You become that person that's complacent and not assisting me with the bills. You know what I'm saying? You're not being that man that I esteem anymore. You're not going to get that version of me anymore.
Exactly.
I'm going to begin to be
now you
in that protective state. Yeah, I do. That's why it's very important it's so important, y'all, for a man to be treated like a king. But in order for him to be treated like a king, he has to be viewed as such. He has to walk in that light.
Like a queen.
And he's not going to be viewed as such if he don't.
Right.
Exactly. All on him.
I mean,
I believe so many, listen, that panel of men, especially Tighter Guy, shout out to Tighter Guy. That panel of men was like, they feel like, the change starts with the woman. The change does not start with the woman in these relationships, in these dating situations, none of that. The change starts with the man. Once the men walk in the proper light that God ordained them to walk in, women will line up with that. Don't go to sleep on me, Tone.
I'm not going to sleep.
I'm not. Yes, that's why I see men as such.
Had he been different and not been complacent, he would have gotten all of that things that he wanted from me naturally. Because it's not that I didn't want to give it to him. It's just that
it's in you
at this point, if you're not gonna be a man, or say that, but if you're not gonna, fulfill your duties, then don't expect me to give you all of me. I can't give you all of me. I'm tired.
Listen, so I can't give you won't have enough left over to give him what he requires.
I can't pour into you
as a man
at that point.
I think you are wholeheartedly.
Who you pointing at?
You, the traditionalist. You're somewhat traditional in the aspect of the man being the leader in all aspects. So it sounds unconditional but it sounds unconditional, where a lot of women will have conditions based off of their expectations of a man.
I do believe that women are leaders too. I'm a powerhouse.
Yeah,
so
you say this.
Absolutely. Listen,
I believe it. I hear it all the time, but
but I am very submissive to a man That is in a
who's being a
proper
man.
role.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's the truth. That's we're saying the
That's
same thing.
naturally
We're saying
who
the
I
same
want to
thing.
be.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
naturally want to be submissive.
Women, that's
I naturally,
that's how
but
God
not all
created
women. I
us.
can't say that because I know some
but
women
what
that
broke
don't
them?
even want to
What
be that.
broke them? What situation created that? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That
That's true.
mindset. Go ahead, Tom.
I'm
Wish
glad
you
y'all
was on
got,
camera, but
I'm glad y'all got right there because this literally leads into what my question is
And
going
I'm
to be.
I didn't
following
get to not one
I'm
card.
You never do, so that's all right.
That it be your fault. It really
I am. I'm gonna get to the
It really
card
do be
today.
your fault.
Her
I'm gonna get to this
her
card
car is so
today.
cute.
Let me.
They
ask you
black
this
with white
question
writing.
now.
Shine your light. See?
Is it the other individual's fault when one person in the relationship is still holding on to premeditated trauma? Basically meaning that either from representation of father figures or mother figures, from growing up and how relationships were with them in regards to other relatives relationships, or even let's just say go back to their first serious relationship.
Right.
In their eyes, it did not work out, or else we wouldn't be here in this moment trying to see where things can go. Is it in your mindset still that man's fault when he does everything that deems him a king, yet she still holds on to the belief structure that the other shoe is eventually going to fall?
Here's why it's his fault.
I already know it.
Here,
I know why she for this. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
I'm really more so
First
asking
and
this for
foremost-
podcast reasons because
first and foremost,
I'm ready.
y'all should know that I have gone through HELL. You know this personally. You have seen some of the traumas that I have bounced back from that most people probably wouldn't have been able to bounce back from.
Yeah,
Amen.
Absolutely. Amen.
Okay. So, as someone who has experienced high levels of trauma, I can say, first of all, we should not be dating until we're in a healed space to begin with. Okay.
Well,
but secondly, and they do, and they shouldn't.
Touching your buttons.
And they shouldn't. But the next thing after that, thirdly, secondly, I don't know how many y'all done said, is why did you pick her? Why did you pick an unhealed woman? Why did you pick a Jezebel? Why did you pick a woman that's traumatized and don't know how to communicate?
And I think this
Why'd
is
you
the
pick
part
her?
that you're
It
leaving
still
out of
falls
the
on you.
equation.
I
This is
know
the
you
part I
did.
feel like you're leaving out of the equation when you make this statement.
Well, let's add it up.
It's the fact that you're leaving out the variable that the presentation is not always the same as the end result.
Which is what Lisa
So,
actually
for
stated. But
example,
here's the issue.
I'll use
Most
hold on,
men
wait a minute.
are
Yeah,
picking women due
Like,
to
you know, don't
physical
talk too
looks.
long.
Go
Let me
ahead.
finish it.
Go
Like,
ahead.
let's take for an example. Prior to before this show started, me and Lisa had a very interesting conversation.
Which we'll finish.
Okay. The thing about our conversation is I do not know anything about either one of the individuals we spoke on, so I can only go based off the notion of what she informed me in regards to it.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, we described each one of them by zodiac signs.
Mm-hmm.
We live in a day and age where just the simple fact of you saying that you are a Leo is a preconceived notion already blanketed on that individual. We don't know this individual from a hole in the wall, but because your birthday is August 5th, we know everything about you in our mind already. You can say these little things like these things and be like, well, my sign says that because I'm a Sagittarius, is Geminis are automatically my compatible person. So because you're a Gemini, I'm going to come into this relationship open-minded. But if you happen to be, let's say, a Libra, I like you, we're going to see where it's going. But the minute you make me want to have to argue with you, I'm out the door. These are things that people walk into relationships with now because of preconceived notions of what is expected to happen.
You shouldn't
They're
walk into
not
a relationship
always
based off of a zodiac sign, but go ahead.
But you're taking the fact that logic is not being used when it comes to dating this day and age.
Whose fault is that, though?
It
Logic should absolutely be
but
used
here's where
along
my
with a whole
point
bunch
is,
of other
though.
variables.
You cannot put the blame of why a situation is not workable on one individual.
I absolutely.
That's the only thing I'm saying.
agree with that.
Everything you're saying,
I disagree.
everything makes sense, but to put the notion on one individual is literally taking liability off the other.
No, it's
As
not.
the woman,
No, it is not. The woman can still be held accountable for her actions.
but she
But at
doesn't
the
have
end
to
of the day,
correct
if you
her
go
actions.
to a restaurant, okay, and your food is served to you incorrectly, who do you go to? You go to the manager. It doesn't mean the waiter didn't put in the right order. They can still take accountability for that. It doesn't mean the chef didn't mess up. They can still take accountability for that. But at the end of the day, the person that is at the forefront, that is held responsible for the representation of that entire experience, is going to be the owner, the head person in charge.
But see, that's where the fault needs to lie.
And
Because yes, this restaurant, the owner could do
Jesus.
everything he's supposed to do. He can go from the beginning of the day that door opens to the day that closes, and he and or she can literally make sure every single customer is happy. And all of a sudden, that waiter accidentally put 2 forks on a table and ruined that whole experience for that one individual.
Mhm.
We cannot put the blame on the owner for something that's considered a simple mistake.
But it automatically,
that's
but
minor,
it automatically goes to the owner. Just look at Facebook and how when people go right after a restaurant based off of some service that had nothing to do with the owner, it had something to do with the service they received from somebody 5 levels below.
90% of people are going to agree with y'all. What y'all are hearing today is LeChelle's point of view.
No, we're not saying your point of view is wrong.
But 95%, that's why I'm very cautious.
No, don't be cautious. It's your show. Say how you want to,
That's
how
true.
you want
It
to.
is my show.
I tell you that every single time before and after show.
Stand on it.
That literally is what I tell everybody who starts a new show. Stand on what you believe.
And that is truly what I believe.
You're not in.
Not saying that I'm not at fault for, things that may have happened in previous relationships. Not saying that I didn't have a part in that, but the holistic fault of the relationship not working, I have to put on the king.
And see, I can't do that.
If they were king.
Not necessarily because as a king myself, but as a king raising future queens, I can't do that. And the reason why I can't do that is because when we openly put the blame on the man at the end of the day, that woman can be held accountable in that moment for it not working, but she will never adjust her behaviors to make sure it's not the same in the next relationship.
And see, and no, you shouldn't be like raising a young lady to think that, you can do whatever you want and everything is going to be on the man. Not saying that. No, it is not. And it shouldn't be received like that.
Yeah.
It should not be received like that. Okay. But I do believe because it's not received like how it should be, that's why men aren't walking in the light that they are supposed to be walking in. That's why, man, this pineapple is good, Jesus. That's why men aren't walking in the role that they were designed to walk in, that women would ultimately follow if they did.
So
it's too many men like that ain't my fault. You shouldn't even be worried about that. That shouldn't even know be a concern.
I was going to say that. See, the
a
problem,
lot of men don't even know how to lead.
I understand.
That
ain't his fault.
But see, that's the thing.
Not necessarily.
No, not necessarily.
Jesus.
You see, you have to understand. And I'm going to speak to this only from...
The tools are out there.
I'm only going to speak to this from the Black experience because that's the only experiences I know.
Mm-hmm.
We are the only culture,
True,
collectively, that does not have a rite of passage for neither our women or our men.
Yep.
You have other cultures who have sweet 16s that are serious. You have quinceañeras. You have what's the bar mitzvah. Other cultures publicly have rites of passages of when this young man or young woman is now pronounced as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
You know what we have? You're 18. Get out my house.
so
and then
we have cotillions and cotillions, but that's for the elite Black.
But that's elite.
Very
Blacks.
elite.
Mm-hmm.
You see, it's an elite.
We're talking
Black.
about what's that, like 5%? Top 5?
Yeah,
Come
I'm just
on
saying
now.
it's there.
Top 3?
It's there, but here and it's gate kept.
Exactly.
That's the problem. It's gate kept because
gate-kept.
all those things that you actually described also could be, but they're not.
They're not, and that's part of the reason. So if we eliminate the fact of how the Black household has been destroyed and eliminate how mass incarceration of the Black men is on the rise in regards to, you eliminate the single mother percentile has almost tripled in the last 20 years, which is when you see the biggest change in the power dynamic in the Black household. If we take all of that out the equation, this is not me saying you're wrong, because your thought process is phenomenal. when you have those variables removed.
Why are you in a relationship if you're not even like ready for that role?
Because that's
But-
normal.
but
Because that's
this-
normal.
That's
That's normal.
This
Yeah.
is the problem. Listen, y'all. Listen, Linda. Because you should. Because you can't.
I was like,
No, you cannot eliminate those facts and those variables. You have to bring those things up in order to get to the solution
but that's
for that
where I
for
was
our
going,
youth.
right?
And
But
even
where
for
I was
our-
going with
our
that is
adults.
we
But go
need
ahead.
to reset the Black household.
Absolutely.
We need to get back to the
Absolutely.
point where both men and women, we need to bring back charm school. Sum it up in a nutshell.
I
We
agree
need
with
to bring
that.
back charm school, because when you look at today's representation of both our men and our women, a lot of them are not favorable. A lot of the behaviors that we see both from men and women are accepted to be those negative behaviors. Look at reality TV.
Oh,
Reality TV was born
tone.
on the back of us acting a complete jerks.
Agreed.
Therefore,
Agreed.
people think that this toxic behavior is how relationships are supposed to be.
Agreed. I agree with you 100%, 1000%.
But
on
no,
that.
but
And
let me
that's how
finish.
we-
But let me finish.
Okay,
This
okay.
is the reason why your thought process, as phenomenal it is flawed in today's society.
So I'm like,
Yeah, and you did this. If you wouldn't say that, you're not gonna like what I say.
no,
most
you're
of us would've
not.
left it
'Cause
alone.
I'm coming.
But
I'm coming. Tom,
no,
I'm telling
because of the fact that toxicity is starting to become the normality in regards to a relationship. If we take your
you.
thought
They've
process,
accepted that.
let
though,
me
because-
finish.
Go ahead.
I know you I know you want to. Let me finish. And yes, they have accepted that. That's why we're getting to. Because toxicity has become the normality of what relationship behaviors are starting to be, you have to put accountability on both. Because that man can do everything he's supposed to do, but that toxic, negative, petty, childish behaviors that woman will convey will continue to be that way, even if he takes ownership. Because
No,
once he
you're good.
walks away from that relationship and we say this relationship ended because you left, guess what she'll keep doing? Being that toxic person. Having hot girl summers, being
Why are you
bad
with
bitches.
her? Why did you choose her?
Because that was told to me by society of what a
No.
normal relationship
No, it
should
wasn't.
be
A lot of
when
things
you're
were
in that
told to
age
you.
group.
You chose
I'm
to
gonna say
receive
this.
that. No,
I'm gonna say this.
Jesus.
This is why we want to talk today.
No,
I'ma say
I
this.
definitely want you to talk today, but go
I'm
ahead.
gonna say this.
Then I'm gonna
As
chime
a
in.
woman
Go ahead.
that was raised by her father
Amen.
without my
Rest in peace,
mother,
King. Rest in peace, King.
to compare me to a man that was raised by his mother and without his father, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
For one, I'm being shown what a man is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And what a man is supposed to do. So that's all I know.
Right.
That's all I know is what a man is supposed to do and what a man is supposed to
So
be.
when you're presented with a man that
That's
doesn't know
not-
how to
it-
live up to that because he was never
It's
shown
foreign
that.
to me.
Right.
But it took for me, as I evolved.
Mhm. Shout out to the evolution. Shout out to the movement, Jesus.
As I have evolved to understand that that's why it's not always their fault, because they didn't have that representation.
If we
and
keep
then-
saying that it's not their fault, they're never going to walk in the light that they're supposed to walk in as leaders, as men, and the women are not going to follow behind them
let me say
because
this,
we treat them as boys. No,
though. On the flip
hold
side,
them accountable in the light that they should be
I
held.
get what you're saying, but it's harder for our black men, though. It is. It really is.
Most
hard
of
for
our black men don't even see our black women as they should be viewed, and because they see them as, Tatianas and all this
But
other
look what they
stuff.
present themselves
And
as.
most of our women don't view our men as they should because they're too busy protecting themselves from them, and vice versa. Honestly, most of them are against each other instead of for each other.
Yeah.
There's no trust out here between the black men and the black woman for the majority.
Mhm.
That toxicity, absolutely, as Tone stated, has become the norm,
Yeah.
which it should not be. There's such a difference between a grown man and a negro.
It is. It is. But I'll also say this, like I was saying, on the flip side of that, because I grew up without my mother, you would think, oh, well, then how did you learn to become a good woman? But that's also because I also had good women in my life to
Right.
look up to and see what a
So
good
what-
woman is supposed to be.
What would be
But
y'all
these men
advice?
don't even
What
have
would be
that.
y'all
We need more
advice? Because I'm
mentors.
okay. That's there we go. We
We
don't talk
need
about the
more
problems without
mentors.
speaking about the solutions. Because I feel like there will be. I'm all for all of us becoming the absolute best versions of ourselves, so that we can have more come together and have more beautiful families and all that good stuff, right? But you said we need more mentors.
We do.
Okay.
And not even, I'm talking about, and there are grown men that could use a mentor.
Right.
Grown men that could use a mentor.
But there's this thing called ego, and men don't want to listen to other men. But that's the only way, in all honesty, that they're going to, raise up to the level that we as women need them to be at in order to view them as we should view them. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've been talking about so many different times on the show, holding each other accountable and correcting each other privately.
Because one thing I will say about women,
Men and
us as women, like it's me and you.
We always do.
I'll be like, sis, now come on now. She don't be wanting to hear what I got to say.
I always want to hear what you got to say.
Like, oh my God.
I always want to hear it. And what I respect about her is she always do it privately.
Yeah,
I'm
gonna keep it 100. I'm like, no, because you can't think of it that way, because this, I'm definitely the person that's gonna look at it from all sides.
Right. And we can finna get into these questions too, y'all. But at the end of the day, I believe if the men walked in a light that they were designed to walk in, the women would follow. That is my personal opinion. Yes, we absolutely do need mentors. Yes, everyone should be held accountable. Don't be playing no games. Every time I say that, he do like this to try to get on the mic. Everyone should be held accountable for their actions. But to me, the men are the leader. Don't listen. Men want to be viewed as a leader, but they don't want to take on the role.
Okay,
now, that's true.
I agree with you.
I will say that that's true.
But let's get into these questions.
Let me just say this, and this is not going. This is not going to be 10. It'll probably be about 2 minutes. It's actually agreeing with you. Yes, men do need to be leaders, but we also do collectively together as a community need to come up with more public expressions of giving men the ability to learn how to be leaders.
I agree with that.
We wake up every single day and women have some kind of brunching, some kind of event, some kind of pop-up, something that's always empowering women on a day-to-day basis. We need more of those kind of things for men. And yes, in the beginning, you may get one or you may get two guys that show up. I need people who come up with these ideas to not be discouraged when the numbers are not there in the beginning.
The problem is with everything, like we can sit here and debate all day of who the greatest rapper alive is or who the best producer is. See what I'm saying? There's so much objective criteria, but the subjectivity of it is overwhelming. There's no objectivity of what the man is supposed to do. There's no objectivity over the women. There's all over the place the subjectivity based off of what you need. So there's a man out there who picks a person. You ask why do they stay with him? Because they pick a person who likes them. So if I like, if you like, I know that's not that. But I'm saying that's what happens for the most part. Because if I like you and I like the way you look, I'm going to create the necessity of what I think you should be. That is, but that's the norm. That's probably more. That's probably more norm. That's probably more normal than anything. You work it down to the basics. Right. Your exterior and what I think you are. I will create in my head what I want you to be and think what you're supposed to be. Allowing time. Yes. That so that whole being
where a lot of these traumas.
Right,
but universal.
But the whole concept of what I want my man to be, what's masculinity, I might not fit that. I might not fit that at all, but because I don't fit that,
I fit it for your partner.
I fit it for myself and I fit for my partner. But if it's not enough for that partner will make me feel less than because I'm not meeting that standard. And that's the part. That's the part that's not very honest. We're not honest with that. There's no honesty in that part. Right. We will actually go through the toxicity. Right. Because we think that's the norm to try to make something work that shouldn't work, and that's where we are. I mean, you how long did you make yours work?
Let's pause right here.
10 years.
No, I need
13 years
that's
of
why
me.
I said we gonna pause right here. Let Tommy get out what he got to get out.
I'm just saying, like there's some bare minimum stuff that we're missing because we're saying all this high level stuff, but there's some you know, some honesty that, hey, I'm picked somebody that was cute.
That's what
I picked somebody that was cute and had a good job.
That's what I keep
That's what you're trained to do.
No, you should.
That they should is a big ass word. Should is a big word.
When it blows up in your face, you are held responsible for your choice making.
So what happened back in the days?
You made the decision to be with somebody for
you might as well forget the question.
For just like
you're right. What happened back in the day when people was like picking your mate for you? What did they pick based off of?
Right.
The criteria was all the same criteria that we actually go out.
No, we're not pairing marriages.
I know, but that's a learned behavior. Like, what are the standards? Good job, handsome.
Those aren't my standards. None of those are my.
You gonna date an ugly nigga?
They're not ugly to me, but some of the people out there may have been ugly to y'all.
Whatever.
Attractive to you.
To me, exactly. But no, what do I look for in a mate? Let's go over that part. What do I look for?
What do you look for?
Somebody that feeds
God-fearing.
my spirit. Somebody that feeds my spirit good things.
Space to even feed your spirit.
Conversation.
Right. Because let's just be 100 here.
Me viewing him as a quality of a man. Yes. No, go ahead. Be 100. Don't me sister.
No, I'm saying like yes. After you
know me. But
right, I'm saying after you've had a conversation with him, but
before you had a conversation,
you gotta have. It has to be something about that person that's gonna even let you.
Why are we acting like that's not like a criteria? Why?
You know the people that I have dated.
But why are we acting like that's not criteria though?
Not all of them are not attractive.
Basically, she telling you some of them niggas was ugly. And you gotta think for yourself because he might feed your spirit, but you can't take him out in public.
No, see, I don't look at the physical.
I done got to the point where I'm like, I ain't settling.
I look at the physical in a sense.
I need to look at
take care of yourself. I do look at the physical in that
yes.
sense, but even like a teddy bear, I would date a teddy bear, heavy man. If God told me that was my husband, and we gonna walk together, anybody got time? We gonna walk together. But I need my husband.
You had somebody who come down here and she smelled amazing. That smell she smelled amazing. I started looking at her different because she smelled amazing. That's
like you did
it
the
starts.
woman up there.
What
upstairs?
It's their characteristics that I am drawn to.
But I need you to look at it in a more holistic.
But it has to start somewhere.
It
has to start somewhere.
You have to.
You ain't just walking down the street and somebody gonna just fill you spiritually off the concept.
You're not podcasting properly. You gotta let her talk.
But that thing that sparks me, and you know this, sister. That thing that sparks me, it's not gonna be how much money you make. It's not gonna be how you look. It's gonna be you teaching me something. It's
right.
Gonna
Can I have a strawberry?
We're saying
to my spirit.
I like how nobody thinks about me over here.
I always get you something. Chocolate strawberries.
There has to be.
But my attraction is to him spiritually. I'm telling y'all. That's what it is. I'm telling y'all. Like
if that was the case, the minute we met, that would have been a connection.
There was a connection.
I know, but
first time I saw you,
it was kind of like I thought I knew who you were, and there was a connection. Yes. If that was the case, that would have been a connection. We have a connection, but it's not a dating connection.
No, it's not a dating. I would have dated you, but I would have dated you, but I'm looking for my I'm looking for my husband. I'm looking for my husband. I'm waiting for my husband.
Now this brings up a good point. He's attractive to you.
Yeah.
He has great conversation because since you've been potting, you guys have definitely learned a lot
about. But we don't line up on I think all the way every level.
But here's one thing I noticed about you.
But
here's one thing I noticed about you that you do often. You put up walls and barriers before you allow.
Did he read? Did he read me a little bit?
Sure did.
And I've told you this before.
I've told her that too. Okay.
You put up walls and barriers that sometimes you block your blessing before you give it an opportunity.
No, I'm not. I've just been through too much. I've been through too much trauma that I'm at a point where I can who is you clapping for, yo?
Because that was a ring.
That I'm at a point where I don't need to put myself in a position to go through nothing else.
Okay.
So I want everything to line up. I'm not dating nobody.
No.
I'm not dating nobody else. Everything is gonna be perfect.
I got this.
It's not gonna be
Pause.
But
Let's do a quick callback.
Mm.
You dated an individual before, because when you first started the show,
one
you were
that was
talking to a young man.
sleeping with
Mhm.
all the married women.
When me and you spoke during the time frame of the whole
and I was being
relationship,
impatient. That's the only reason.
you
I
were
didn't.
exactly. So at that point in time, regardless of whatever he did, because of your point of impatience or your lack of waiting to see if this
And I
really
should've
can
waited.
transgress it, is that still his fault?
Absolutely. He was sleeping with married women. Absolutely his fault.
But before
Yes,
you found that
it's his
out.
Before
fault.
you fall
Before you
out.
found that out, though.
So I take accountability for not listening to God. Okay. That was, I take accountability for that. But as far as the relationship not working out, he wasn't walking in the proper light that he's supposed to be walking in as a man who wants to be in a relationship with a woman.
Okay,
He
LeChelle.
wasn't.
That
He was one
sounds-
of
that
these
sounds wonderful.
attention-seeking men that we had talked about who, loves the love from other ladies on the internet and not able to like let that go. Or he was
That's
one of
great.
those men.
That's great. But
But
we can all
yes.
use that cop out. Well, I didn't listen to God. We can all use that. We can all say that I didn't listen to God.
Well, we should start listening to God.
I understand that, but that
Just
means
start listening.
who
And then let's get in position to be able to hear God. How about that?
Okay. Yeah,
That's
sorry,
why
it
that's
didn't
right.
work.
That was the second greatest Euro step in history.
She was like,
That was the second greatest Euro step in.
Okay, let me ask
That's
my
the one I got to
question.
give you credit. You have been Euro stepping on your shows a lot lately.
I like it though. I like it.
It literally is starting to become the theme of your show.
I like it because it actually adds usually you have a guest on that actually adds this conflict, but you are the conflict.
You are your
I
own
am
conflict.
Not the conflict in a negative
Not
way,
like
but
a negative conflict.
you'll stand on what you stand on and actually have people kind of
Yes.
debate you, and that's actually
Oh,
that's
yeah, I'm cool with that.
That's what we're talking about.
that's good. That's
This-
good banter.
Okay, since we're
Stand
here,
on your
I like
stuff.
to tell you in the moment. This is the
Jesus.
reason why we don't have conversation after the show no more, because you're already blossoming into a great show.
Aw, flowers. Thank you. I could tell.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Oh, okay. Wait.
Okay, so but
That's
can
I
I
did that for you.
I appreciate that. I told you we were gonna see some growth.
Some growth.
I
But
told you
there
there's some growth.
is a perspective of what a man is supposed to be from women that is different from woman to woman, that makes it a crapshoot on how we can actually date.
We can agree to
Yeah.
that.
Now
Okay.
we go to the question.
Okay,
Now
because
we're
we
going
can
to
agree to
question.
that. Okay, so got some good ones. First one, I used to be a woman, and this is how.
You're a man now?
Whoa. This is not how you come out.
Oh, look.
It's
I used to-
I don't want to date you.
Right, we're good.
Really,
I would
a
get on your
man.
nerves, honey. I would get on your nerves.
No, you wouldn't.
I promise you.
Maybe.
Another
But
thing
in a
you
healthy
do
way.
is you do that.
I would though. I
You do
would
that as well,
in a healthy
too.
way.
Mm-hmm.
Plus I've already paired you on a date, but let's keep going.
Yeah,
So
let's not talk about that.
I used to be that woman that would just date for love. I didn't look at, his finances necessarily. I didn't look at if he was a man
Oh, I
that was
know
going to
this question
protect
about
me. I didn't look at all these other layers that me, the woman that I am now, I do look at holistically, as I should, especially a woman that's a mom. So my question to y'all from a male perspective and a woman's perspective, which is probably different, is love enough?
No.
Dang.
No.
No,
not at all.
I've said that.
Yeah.
Love is definitely
And I
not
used to
enough.
be the woman that was like, oh, dude, we'll work
No.
everything else
Mm-mm.
out. But no.
No, because I could love you. I can really love you, and you can really, really love me, but we homeless.
I was gonna say my grandma
No.
said one time, and it
No.
stuck with me.
And I'm
Love,
cool with that.
don't keep these lights on.
Love don't pay no bills, baby.
I'm going to be against the grain. Do you say no?
I said no. I used to say yes, but I say no now.
You say no?
But I think
I say
it's
no.
different for men and women.
Hey, but-
I'm
but Tone
surprised
said
that
no,
he
too.
said-
I say no.
No, it's not.
It's not because
Because
statistically, when you
Mhm.
look at, and this is not just only black people, just statistically, period, out of 75% of all divorces that have ever happened have been over finances.
you better say it.
And I don't mean finances in the regard to the fact that he made $2.5 million and you get nothing. Woo. They don't want me to talk today.
Yes, we do. Come on with it.
It's because the lack of. There are so many relationships where people are struggling financially, and it's because one of the two individuals are not managing their money properly. There should be no reason, for an example, a man to go out here and earn all the money in the household and you fuck it off.
Nope.
You can't ask for the 80 from
And tell me
me.
that that's his fault.
I've never done
No, I'm
that.
just saying.
But it's his fault for choosing a woman like that. She didn't give you no red flags that she was going to be irresponsible with her finances. Y'all
We
didn't have
both
no
started
type of
broke. How are we
conversations?
supposed to know? You have to understand, we both started broke. And now I'm elevating and making more money, but you're spending.
Why aren't you teach her? Why aren't you educate her?
Taking consideration in the Black community that majority of
Oh,
us does
Lord.
not know about finances
Agreed.
until after we're already in debt.
It's your job to lead your family, though. When are y'all going to learn that? Or is y'all just going to always blame it on our ancestors and what they've gone through?
When we didn't know what money and credit was, can we really be the one to lead a household if we don't know
I
what credit
agree
is?
with that.
Because
but
my-
at what
my
point do
family
we
up
implement
until
the
me-
change?
Until me, my family was always a don't owe nobody nothing.
My grandma-
If you can't pay for it in cash, you're not supposed to have it.
Right.
And yet we live in a world where being $10,000 in debt will get you anything.
Right. My grandma's the same way. She thinks
I'm gonna
credit cards
challenge
is
y'all
the
on this.
enemy.
True, authentic love will make sure all that stuff is not an
I thought
issue.
that initially, but now
No. True, authentic love between both people with a chemistry of recognizing that I am not going to let my person down. I'm going to do everything I can to actually make sure that she is okay. There's a love out there that is that, and I think I've experienced it to a point where like nothing I do is going to hurt that person.
I believe that's beautiful on the male side. Me having that perception on the woman side kept introducing me to men who were complacent and were okay with me being the head of the household, which cannot be. A lot of times women, especially the good women, and I hate saying good women, but that's what it is. A lot of times the good women are trying to prove to these men out here that they're not with them for monetary reasons. And we shouldn't have to do that, you
But
know.
at the same
because
time, there's
the
also
ones
these
that-
women that
And
lead with
you
pay
about to say it.
me money first, and then I'll give you the attention.
And then you have these women out here that are give me the
Exactly.
but they're the ones
And we are
they're the
not
ones that
those
get the good
women.
men. They're the ones that get
They
taken
get
care of.
the men that they get. Yes, they do
They
get
get-
kept, but those type
No,
of
not
men.
necessarily.
They don't get kept, but they get the good men that then ruin the good men that turn those good men into assholes, which then you end up running into them. And then
And
you
by
get
the time we
negativity.
get to them,
They're
yes,
damaged.
that's true.
They're damaged.
That is so
Because
true.
this girl, this lady,
That's
on
so true. I'm
Instagram,
not gonna take your money.
TikTok,
I'm gonna help you.
her
man.
name is Shira something, and her little thing is Sprinkle, and she'll sit up there, and
I love it.
I'm talking about the way that we think we would be considered a pick me.
That's what they called me.
You would be considered a pick me, and
Not
you know
knowing
you have to like literally.
Jesus.
You have to have money in order to talk to me. And if you don't have any money, you can't talk to me at all.
And I definitely will not
get
go.
it.
I will not go out and I won't actively date if I don't have the finances.
I feel
because
like
of that.
we can make it together. Like I'm not a woman that asks for anything that I can't give. So if
but
we're
you
on
have
an
women out
equal
here
level,
looking for six figures and they make
exactly,
$20,000
and that's
a year,
not
and
cool.
that's what I mean.
That is not cool
Not
in
even
any
making
way,
that.
shape, or form.
That's a whole other conversation.
That is another conversation. But apparently,
But there's a lot of women like that out
There's
there.
a whole bunch of women like that, and those are, like Tone said, those are the women that cause our men to be more cautious about really good women. You know what I'm saying?
So,
which it shouldn't be.
Love is not enough to y'all. I think love can be enough.
For men.
No, period. I think
Period.
love can be enough. It can be.
It
There's
has
a
to
possibility.
be like a pure love.
Because you said it
not
has to be, that
just-
means there's a possibility.
it has to be. Well, that was my foundation. I was that woman.
And you're waiting out for that same.
It has to be a pure love.
So you believe it.
But I need us to be equally yoked in other facets.
Love is so forgiving that in an instance where things are not working, you will be there to actually help, and they reciprocate.
Exactly.
So
that
it's
also-
possible.
that is real love.
That love
Yes.
isn't enough. It's not just the love. There's love. There's the financial piece.
Because he
You know
can
what I
love
mean?
you
But that
forever,
understand
but
that's there too, though. All that stuff is
if
all
you
encompassing.
love me enough, then you'll be willing to put in the work to
Stability is
to
very-
provide
Right,
as
because
well.
it's the
Okay.
season. It's your season to help and support.
'Cause
It's
if
my
he's
season. It's
complacent
gonna
like
be.
that,
It's
he
a
really
season.
isn't really
It's like
love.
depression. People talk about depression. Depression is not something that is your life. It's a state. You're in a state, in a moment. If there's a financial downgrade and that person is not doing anything to do anything, he doesn't love you enough to actually recognize that you're working really hard.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree with
So,
that.
but if I am like right now, I'm like, man, my financial status is right here. I'm dating this person is right there, and she's offering. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this because
Right.
I need to be doing this for you.
Right.
And they're just pushing it. What happens to the man? Well, shit, if you're gonna give it to me, shit, I'm
Exactly,
good.
Which is why a lot of men are out here like that, looking for mothers.
Mhm,
And
all
swear that they
good
don't
stuff.
want a mother,
But
they
after,
want
you
a
know
mother.
what? If it starts to come, so you come home, you got gifts and stuff. You're like, well, I ain't gotta do nothing. I just
Exactly.
all right. Well,
And
let's keep on
usually
doing
those
that.
women are women that just want a body next to them.
But that works my conscience. I was like, I can't. I just stop. Can you just stop? Because I can't
you
do
have
that.
No, don't tell her to stop, but reciprocate.
Right. But
Yeah.
if I'm
I
unable
understand
to,
that.
it's kind of like I feel
And it's
obligated. Then
temporary.
all of a sudden you're obligated to do it. You're doing off a tit for tat. It's not out of love,
Oh,
and it becomes some other thing.
I get
That's where
that.
stuff gets
I
convoluted.
get that. So next question, I'm gonna ask Lisa this because this was a question. This is all designed for the ladies. Okay.
I just kind of
already
commandeered.
know-
I commandeered the microphone here.
I know.
Oh, you
I know-
invited me though, just to make sure that I was invited. I wasn't.
I know what y'all answer is going to be as men, but let's see. So I asked the men on the last panel if they would say if their woman cheated on them, right? And they said typically the woman stayed with them if they cheated, but if she cheated, they're not set up the same way and they would not stay. So I want to ask you, beautiful Lisa. I'm gonna ask you as well. Actually, let's start with the king. If your woman cheated on you, would you stay? Tone, would you stay?
I have.
You have stayed?
Yeah.
Did you cheat too?
No.
You didn't cheat
Yeah.
and you stayed?
You get your lick back.
What'd you say, Lisa? Say it on the mic.
I asked him if he got his lick back.
No.
Here's the reason why. And it kind of will go back to.
Don't get y'all lit
You're not on the
back, y'all.
microphone, sir.
I know.
I was just being funny.
Excuse me. Apparently, I wasn't on the microphone. The producer told me to go talk to the microphone.
The sidebar producer here.
I did, and I stayed. And the reason why was because I actually, just going back to something you said earlier, I wasn't doing my part. I wasn't
That's what
I wasn't focusing on her. I have a tendency of getting really engulfed in my next projects or my work or my next accomplishment or my next achievement. I get really engulfed in those things. And over time, I tend to kind of push people away. Like, if you ain't got no time for me, I'm not going to stay around and deal with you. This particular one, who thought that we were officially over because I was brushing her off on stuff and I was canceling, dates and things like that because I was engulfed in whatever project that I was working on at that point in time, to the point that she did go out on a date with somebody and that individual showed her just enough attention that she was like, oh, well, I'm missing this, and she gave it up. So a few days later, she came back, she told me, and instead of me being like, how could you, I really sat down and reevaluated how did we get here. I think I just got out of a psychology class because she told me when we were at school, because we were in school together.
She told you?
Yeah. Because she felt guilty about what she did.
She a gangster.
She didn't.
But I like that she did.
No,
take
she
it, though.
felt
I
guilty
can
about what
respect
she
that.
felt
I
guilty
can
about
respect
what
that.
she did.
She held
Hence
accountability.
for why
Yeah,
she
I
came and
respect
told me,
that.
which is what I had told her. I was like, the fact that you were woman enough to come and tell me this because of this reason. Now you're giving me the opportunity to decide if I want to be out or not.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? That's a rare thing to find.
Mhm.
So we ended up staying together. I didn't get my lick back. I just stepped up and was like, okay, cool. Because I know in the past I've definitely stepped out on plenty women.
Did you change your behavior in that relationship?
Yes,
Okay.
I dialed it back a little bit of being focused on other stuff, or even more importantly, include her in the stuff that I was doing.
That's good.
Because some of the things I was doing, she just wanted to be in the room where it happened. I didn't have to just stop and like, hey, are you okay? No, she's a simple fact that if we in the same space and she's watching her man create, that was a turn on to her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
It
how
really
women
is.
love seeing y'all man around the house
Ooh.
fixing something.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like the same thing. I was more with my brain, but then she's seeing me create and dissect and come up with these ideas and make these beats or whatever I was doing at the time. The fact that she seen something come into light and she was there when it happened, that was a turn on for her.
Yeah.
So the simple fact that I was literally leaving her out of this equation made her feel unvalued.
Mm-hmm.
So after realizing where I fucked up at, and I literally have to say it like that, is when it made me like, you know what, let me appreciate you even more. And we were good.
Right.
We were good.
Okay.
So yeah, I stayed. I'll be the first to admit it. Yeah.
That is a rare occasion. But I do love that he accepted accountability for how it came about for the neglect in a relationship. I also love that she took accountability for those actions, because I don't believe that at any point in time it's okay to cheat. I don't believe that at all. I've never cheated. I'm not going to cheat. And I'm not staying if you do.
I'm not going to say that. I've cheated before. And
So would you stay?
You on my side?
So would you stay?
no.
We gonna fight.
So would you stay?
Technically, no.
Was you sad that somebody cheated
That's
on you?
why I'm gonna fight. Because I know how he feels.
But he didn't know.
Oh my
We definitely gonna
Lord!
fight.
No, but I mean, this is what I'm saying. I never actually cheated like actually while we were together. Now, you know how you have those little breakup points, like
Okay.
you broke up and then y'all,
That's
but y'all
different.
wasn't really together, but y'all was still together. You know what I mean?
So as a woman, if you're cheated on, would you stay?
It
And you find
depends
out
on the
about it.
situation.
Okay.
Honestly, it really depends.
Let me ask you a question.
Where are you not on the mic?
He's not on the mic.
Go get the mic.
Let me ask you a question.
Oh, okay.
Ask the question
Would
on
you
the mic.
accept, you're on a break.
Mhm.
Would you accept the breakup, baby?
I wouldn't have a choice. If I'm taking him back, I would have no choice.
You would accept the breakup, baby?
I mean, I wouldn't want to, but at the
Right.
same time, if I decided to take him back,
I like you on the buttons.
you know what I mean? If I decided to take him back, I mean, I have
This
no
is
choice.
such a pure-hearted woman, yo.
Would you accept the breakup,
I wouldn't
baby?
accept.
I would be salty.
I wouldn't accept cheating. I wouldn't accept the
it's a-
breakup,
It's
baby.
a breakup. Y'all were
I
broke
wouldn't
up.
accept. I wouldn't accept not a nothing, none of that. I'm not accepting any of that, and I ain't got
But
to.
you broke
I
up.
don't have to. There's too many people in this world. I
She's
don't have to.
Shessa. Is it
No.
Shessa vibe? She's a vibe.
She's a vibe.
She's a
She's a
vibe.
vibe.
That's tough. That's
Yeah,
that's
it's
a
enough
tough
for
one.
me.
But you know what? The love.
Would
The-
you accept somebody, Tommy? Go ahead.
I possibly could. I'm gonna go with what you said. It kind of depends
On the situation.
on the situation, but I know for
Yeah.
a fact that I am a heavy lover. Like
Yeah.
I would,
He's
I,
a Cancer.
I'll be out
Oh,
if
yeah.
right. I'm if I say I am in love with you, I am in love with you, and you might
Yes.
come to me with anything. I'm like, all right, so let's try to figure this
Let's
out.
try to figure it
Let's
out.
try to figure this
My
out.
most toxic relationships, Cancer, Scorpio.
Damn. But and that's only because I like I said, I was like, so what did I do that made this happen? Like what accountability do I
like,
hold?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
I'm
what
saying.
can I
It's all
do?
about accountability.
So if it's something that I did do, the door's not closed. Accepting a baby, whole nother conversation. I
And that's
don't.
going to be harder for a man to
Yeah.
accept the breakup baby
Yeah.
versus a woman accepting the breakup baby. Because I would say for for men, from what I understand about men, and you can correct me if I'm wrong or not, but from what I understand about men, they can just have sex and not have any emotions attached to it. And it's just that I've done it before, you know, where it was like there was really no emotions attached to it. It was just, this is what we're doing. So that's why, yes, I could accept the breakup, baby, because just because he had sex and whatever, like that doesn't mean that he was in love with her, and that's the reason why.
Where did that become like the standard of like the ultimate like disrespect, the sex, like
betrayal?
Is it why is that the ultimate betrayal? Yeah, why is that the ultimate betrayal? Because anything stuff that leads up to it is just as toxic and that's just as bad.
Oh, like, yeah, because I mean, to me, I would much rather my man cheat on me by just having sex with a random,
as opposed to having an
emotional connection with somebody else.
It's a no for me.
Go bust her down if that's what it is, but don't go falling in love with her and having extra conversations and combining her. No,
where I am in my life right now, I need to be with a man that's very disciplined in every way, shape, or in form. I need him to be disciplined in his flesh.
Yeah.
Okay. Know your limit when it comes to alcohol use. Not just, engage in, sexual activities because it's available to you. Yeah. No, absolutely grown. You're too old for that.
I agree. I would definitely prefer that.
For that. Exactly.
Yes.
And so I'm not gonna just be in a I'm not gonna be in a space where I allow anything else. Not no more. No, I can't
let's
do
take
it.
this. Let's
and
take
guess
this,
what?
This
we ain't
question a different way.
Okay.
What if you're the person that's like withholding? Because I've heard this too. Like,
I'm not withholding from my husband. Go ahead.
But there are women that will.
You shouldn't. You should not withhold from your husband. But that also should not be an excuse for him to go elsewhere either.
I mean,
it should not be an excuse
for him
to go elsewhere
because he's human.
He is human. But then make the necessary steps to part ways completely. I'm
gonna say this because I've had that situation. I'm not talking about my sage. I'm talking about in another like.
That's why Tone needs to be on camera so y'all can see these facial expressions in the conversation between them.
But I'm talking about in a previous relationship where I wasn't getting what I needed physically in the relationship.
That's
may have been getting what I wanted, emotionally and financially, but I wasn't getting what I wanted physically.
I need everything.
And
that's chemistry. I think we all overlook. I mean, all this stuff we're talking about with love and all this stuff. You can love somebody and not have the chemistry that makes that be the magnet. And I think that's what it's called an intangible. That's an intangible that nobody really talks about. You all have this like magnetic personality that attracts someone else, and it's always there, and everything else kind of falls into place. Sometimes we kind of just say it's infatuation, but that's actually something that's a very positive energy that if you're attracted to the outer core of all the expectations that you want from a man, but you kind of just like, all right, well, sexually it's okay. That's just like he doesn't make enough money. It's like one piece that's not keeping you keeping track. Yeah, everything has and it's very rare. It's very rare that happens.
Yeah, it's rare that you're.
Is it rare that it happens, or is it rare that we have enough patience to wait for it to happen?
I think it's automatic.
It just ain't there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
In the moments that I've had that attraction, it has something that it has happened from the get-go. It's like something about this situation is right. And that keeps you in there to find out if I'm going to be patient. Should I be patient? I'm going to be patient because it's worth being patient for.
God is not going to lead you to someone that doesn't line up with you. The problem is we keep being impatient and
you're
just
right.
Picking
I agree with that.
To have that body there, picking people.
We use our brain. We use our brain too much.
Exactly.
We use too much logic in a lot of stuff.
Actually waiting for someone who fits your life and fits where your life is going, which is what I'm doing. God told me to wait, so I'm waiting for the person that perfectly lines up with God's will for my life. I don't need just a man. I don't need just a husband. I don't need a partner to sleep with. I don't need none of that. I'll be A-okay by myself at night. Amen.
Okay, so let's say this. Let's take this into consideration. Let's just say you have the man. He's a godly man.
Yeah, let's say that. Let's manifest it.
Okay.
Okay, what else is he?
Come on.
Godly man.
Mhm.
What?
Well, I'm getting there. He's godly. He's God fearing. Treats you like a queen.
Yes, Lord. Requirements,
He,
Jesus.
he's giving you all of the emotions and everything.
He's
that you
attentive,
want.
sister.
He's attentive.
Oh, I love it.
You're
He might-
He
he
gonna
might-
study with
all
me.
of those
He might be a
things.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Anybody got time?
I'm talking about he's very chivalrous. He's opening up doors. He's giving you flowers.
Good
just on a
example
weekly
for my son.
basis. He's a great
Okay.
dad.
Love
He's
it.
financially
We studying our Bible
stable.
together.
Yeah, y'all standing. Y'all. So
Oh,
he's God
okay.
fearing.
We working out
He
together.
is all that, girl. He
Okay.
has a
All right.
body.
Oh, he
he-
gotta have bodies.
he
He
got
gotta
a
work out
body.
together.
Y'all work out. But
Yeah.
I'm saying he's physically fit.
Okay.
He got all that going
All right.
on.
Okay. Because he could be a type though.
He got all that going on.
All right.
And then you finally decide to have sex with him.
Oh no. I see where this is going. Okay. So
You finally.
I'm at a point
he's
where we're
hitting
not even
all-
doing that. So if
but-
I waited to marriage, if I did
Right,
make it to
would never.
marriage, but
I
that's
would
that's
never,
what you're
and that's
saying
why.
right now.
And that's why I would
So
because I would be
I am someone.
depressed.
I'm someone. I'm
No.
someone that when I first started to drive my car, I didn't necessarily know what I was doing or how to do it, but over time I learned to.
But sometimes the equipment is not there.
Well, are we gonna be real honest right now?
And I'm
Are we
talking
gonna
about-
be super honest right now? Because I can be honest right now. I can't believe I'm saying this on here. I only like smaller.
Okay, but it can be smaller. But I'm talking
I don't
about,
like
no, because
nothing.
baby, there are babies, and I mean babies.
oh
out here.
I
I
don't know.
mean a baby.
I've never experienced that. But, but just like my preference is smaller.
I've never experienced
My preference is
that.
Smaller. I would stay away from anything else.
But you found
but
out
he
you
has
found out the
everything.
wedding night.
We gonna work it. We gonna work it out.
You gonna cheat?
If God is in it, then He knows.
Look,
Eventually.
Look,
I'm
keep,
just
If God
saying.
is in it, He
look,
knows.
keep my
It's gonna
number.
work out. I don't like anything that's no.
I'm
it's
talking
not.
Yeah.
about, and not only that, he also he a baby, and he don't know.
I'm mad
what
at you.
he's
This
doing.
is gonna. I feel like this is gonna go elsewhere. He's a baby. I feel like that is gonna be like a saying, like "Sissy a baby." But-
It is a saying already.
Is it? I've never heard it before.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
baby,
Oh, okay.
toddler, not even toddler,
Oh,
newborn.
That's real.
Real.
sometimes you just gotta pray for people.
Sometimes it's newborn.
There's nothing you
There's
can
something happened in their life. That's sad.
But no,
I'm
I feel
scared.
like everybody.
And then
It,
it
but
was
it's
10
not. They
seconds.
say it's not
So-
the motion of the ocean. It's the motion of the
possible.
ocean,
And
not
what
the
did I just say?
size of the boat.
Because
It
It
gotta
didn't-
be.
no, because the rocket went off before you even got started. Really.
Oh, my.
Oh,
Yeah, the tough thing about it is
no.
as
Well,
you know
we
what
talk
you
about
know
like-
you know. I mean,
I did say I need it all.
and I've had this
I do
conversation.
need it all,
I don't
but feel
know.
like,
I don't know exactly the age range we're
talk.
talking here, but there
We're
was this.
upper 30s, lower 40s.
There's a stage in life where people were having sex, and that's all they were doing. It was just having sex.
It's a
We
no for
don't
me.
really not. I mean, not saying this
Oh,
casually,
just a
but when you
stage.
were having sex,
Oh,
that's all. That's what it was. It's like there was not a lot of.
There was not a lot of emotion.
There
I
were not.
can't-
There were
I
not a lot of
can't-
experience. You didn't have the
things.
experience of thinking about the
my
other
heart is
person.
always gonna be in it.
I know, but that's a whole other thing. But
Okay,
the man having the wherewithal to understand that I have a job and I'm going to please you. That comes with experience.
Yeah.
That comes with a lot of experience. Because before it's like, you know,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna-
we too old to be with somebody without no experience.
but I
love.
mean, but even that, but there's still a lot of people out here who's out there. Their experience is to get off for themselves as much as fast as they can, or was whenever, and then disregard who you're with. Like it should be a
So
a-
I'm a woman that feels like even the church women, like everyone should be like a stripper for their husband.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I believe that wholeheartedly. You
Mhm.
should be performing a way for your husband. So I feel like it should be that for
This is probably the
men
first time
as
this has been
well.
used in this.
It should be equal. The same. Jesus.
The first time. Relations.
So,
First time on Shine Your Light podcast.
the same way. The same way, oh Jesus, that you would want to provide for your partner on a monetary level, you know, that
Mhm.
shows that love.
Mhm.
It's the same way you should want to please your partner on absolutely every single level.
I hate that cancers are given such a bad rap, but
I don't think y'all are giving a bad rap.
No.
I think y'all love hard. I
Really
think it can
do.
be toxic. I've seen a toxic cancer, but
Mhm.
I've seen the.
I'm aware
cancer.
of toxicity. I am aware of it. And if it comes to that level, I'm like, damn, is that me? Like for real. Like and it comes frequently. It comes to
But I'm-
fruition free. I was like, ooh, that's
I don't
rough.
think your sign is your identity. I think there are certain traits there,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but you can become like more mature, you know, as
Mhm.
a person. Some
Mhm.
people say Pisces are emotional. Now
And Pisces men are whores.
Pisces men, I've seen that. I've seen Pisces men, not Pisces women. But
Pisces
I've
are
definitely
whores.
seen
What's the
Pisces
month for
men.
Pisces? March?
February, March.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm March 1st. March 1st.
Are
March
you?
6th to March.
My daughter's March 3rd.
March 6th.
See, Pisces men are not whores. What it is after Valentine's Day, they found out what their value was.
I'm gonna need you to be on mic.
And then they just went down that avenue.
He's over there whispering.
Right.
No, they
Yeah,
just be
no.
whores.
So, but I believe you can become more mature in whatever it is. Like I'm very aware of my emotions, but I'm also very emotionally intelligent. So
I know
don't think you have to just
I've
own
gone
that
through stages of
identity.
being whatever the men have been in their life as far as I'm being, but at the stage of my
Cancers
life,
have a lot of
You saw
saying-
your
emotions.
role.
I mean, at this
Y'all got a
point,
lot
I'm
of
like,
emotions. Y'all have to know
whatever.
how to handle your
Right.
emotions.
Yeah,
Y'all
it's
have a
different
song for absolutely every single emotion y'all go through. But y'all just have to know how to handle y'all emotions. That's all. Did you enjoy your chocolate strawberry?
I did.
All right, so up here, guys, let's stop talking about the other stuff.
Just,
Jesus.
Yeah, it's true.
You got?
So, the other question is actually pertains to dating a man who are attention-seeking men, extra flirty, who basically women are the same, maybe deemed as attention-seeking on social media. So that was the topic. We don't have to go into
So
that.
basically, that's a whole show.
That's a whole show by itself. So let's actually go to the cards. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, so we can just pull a couple cards if that's okay, and then we can actually wrap it up in just a moment.
Pull the card.
But yeah, let's pull some cards. So Lisa, Miss Lisa, would you do the honors of pulling the first card?
Do I have to pull it from the top?
No.
Preferred. Actually, let me make sure they're
Nope. Pull it from wherever you
in
want.
order. Oh, see, they weren't even in the right.
see being extra with the directions here.
All mixed up and everything.
Is it from the bottom or the top, in the middle? You play spades.
She's very extra.
You're a spades player. That's why.
I'm a spadeologist.
Cut the deck.
What
Cut the
y'all
deck.
gonna-
I'm a
what y'all gonna do is
spadeologist.
leave my new friend alone. Let her be.
Lisa's extra, okay?
Let her be
She's
extra.
extra in the best way possible.
Extra.
Okay. What it say on the back?
Manifestation.
Woo. Oh,
Describe your ultimate dream vacation. Oh, this is easy.
yes. Remember, this is for the ladies initially, but go ahead.
We got dream vacations too. We like to go places.
I like get flued out.
You just got flew out.
Period.
No, guys, don't fly out. And don't fly nobody out unless y'all are in a relationship. And
That's
y'all
a
flying
How we
vacation.
get there?
Okay. I'm just making
We
sure.
don't
because
live
some
in
of these
Milwaukee
people-
forever.
No, because some of these people be flying people out
Fluing
with
people out.
with the expectation that more is going to happen, and they
Yeah.
they haven't entered
Yeah, but
into
we're
that
talking
space.
about a vacation.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
talking
But
about
sometimes
those
you
who
get
are
flued out, and
already
it
on
does
that
happen.
level.
Shut the front
Exactly.
door. No.
So
No.
the ultimate vacation for me would be, because I love surprises.
Yes.
So the ultimate vacation for me would be, first of all, it's a surprise. Like he's surprising me with the vacation.
I love that.
Somewhere tropical. And just me and him, and we have time to like really like connect with each other.
I love that. No phones and just like
Oh, I don't know about the no phones, but I mean, for the most part, no
Okay.
phones. Like, because you have to have your phones, emergencies, and for pictures and all those.
We
things
think we need to have our phones.
But not while
we would stop
not
and
while
get some
you're
Kodak disposable cameras, and you can make it happen.
Post that.
Look, fam,
Afterwards.
I'm not gonna go out in the middle of nowhere.
I want to be in the middle
no
of nowhere.
not anymore.
We
with
used
a
to.
in a cabin.
We used to.
And it used to be safer.
It used to be, but
That's
not
true.
no more.
That's true.
I think it's-
I ain't gonna be in Mexico.
I think it's just as
with
safe
no
as it has.
phone.
I think it's just as safe as it's always been. We're creating these unsafe situations.
No,
This-
Nah,
it's-
it'd be some
No,
stuff
it'd be
happening.
some stuff.
I've gone without my phone and I'm still alive. I'm good.
Somebody will put us in a suitcase though, Tommy.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, definitely was hitting the whole suit.
For real.
Probably.
Right.
so
And that's all right. That's all right.
I mean, I wouldn't say just no phones, but
Big
I mean
experience.
minimal phone access. Like we're not sitting there-
Scheduled phone time.
Yeah.
Right, we're not
Connecting,
sitting there.
fully connecting.
We're not sitting there right across from each other, right next to each other, just scrolling on our phones. Not like that.
We shouldn't be doing that, period, regardless, though.
But definitely, I mean, yeah, we're gonna take some pictures. We might, do a little live or something like that. Try to show, our, where
the
we're
love,
at.
show
Our
the
love.
Flex
love.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah,
The flex.
yeah,
Show
the
the
flex.
love.
Got to show the flex.
Show the love.
Our Versace robes.
Cheers to that, sister. Coming soon.
But,
soon.
But like,
Oh.
right here. But
Y'all over here with these glasses like it's champagne. It's straight
Right,
pineapple,
it's
orange,
It's
pineapple
We're
mango.
We're going to have wine time after.
I don't believe you have the audacity to have pineapple mango juice on the show.
We're going to have wine time after. But I love that. I love that.
so that would be my dream vacation.
where would y'all go?
Like I said, somewhere tropical. It doesn't
Okay.
necessarily have to be like I don't have like, oh, it has to be Hawaii, it has to be Jamaica. Somewhere tropical, somewhere where it's gonna be hot and there's palm trees and there's an
Yeah.
ocean and there's sandy beaches
So the
and I'm in
south
my
side of LA.
bikini.
Ain't nobody got time.
No.
You just named everything that's on the south side of LA. It's palm trees, it's beaches.
Outside of the country.
Or just tropical. We could be
You
in
don't have
Puerto
to be-
Rico.
Oh, okay.
Tropical
Okay.
on the south side of the
No. Why are you trying to be funny?
He is. He is. I love that.
Because I could be in Miami too if you really want to
Go
be
ahead,
funny.
be down there with the drug dealers.
Hey, it's lit. Let's go to Opalaka.
This sounds more like a memory,
You
Lisa.
go to Opalaka. I'm
Sounds
not
like
going
this.
with
This sounds more
Right.
Like a
She's
memory.
already experienced it.
And why did you invite me? Okay,
you. Now me.
Tommy.
No, I'm
I gotta pick a card.
Okay.
because Tommy ain't. Oh, it's for each of the parts.
Yes.
Never mind. I keep mine to myself.
No, say it.
Nope, it's too late. Tommy,
Where you gonna go?
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
He said the mountain.
Pull it, Tommy. You gonna go to the next one. You gotta say what the title says.
Oh, I just came from the top. I'm not gonna be difficult like your guest.
No, I didn't. I put it in the middle.
Worth the wait is the card, right?
Okay,
Ooh,
worth
that's
the
why you
wait.
wanted it.
Remember, this is for women, so I don't know.
Explain why you are not married yet.
Oh, there you go. Are you worth the wait? I don't know.
Absolutely, I am.
But
Yes,
that's
you are.
not fair. That's not a fair question for him because
But
he's
I
been
know.
married.
But
But
okay,
I have
but
been
why?
married.
But why aren't you married right now?
I'd get married again.
Love.
Explain why you are not married.
It's typically for a woman, but yeah.
Because he sold drugs in the hood.
Because after experiencing the marriage that I did have and kind of come across all the things that I knew that I fell short and what I needed, my criteria has become way more stringent. It becomes
So
way
you
more
haven't found
particular.
someone that lines up with that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you feel like the age bracket is slim? You know, or
well,
there's
the-
slim pickings in that age
Well,
bracket? I should
the
say?
downside to my age is that the women my age have experienced the same thing I have, so we're kind of dueling for that kind of those criteria. And then the women that are younger than me are looking for things that I already experienced, and I'm not sure if I'm willing to
Go backwards.
really willing to go backwards. Like, I've
You
had
don't have to.
I've had a vasectomy for 16 years. I can't give you a child, so
Right.
I won't.
Hey man.
So
How I feel about that.
I've had one for two. I got my two and I'm done.
I have 2 children, and I'm not never
I have one. I have a
Really?
16-year-old.
Wait,
and,
wait,
and
wait.
if
Who
my
black flying?
husband wanted me to have a child, I would have a child with my husband.
You
Absolutely.
got Kayla that's gonna fly me out.
Hey,
This is a good
Kayla.
question.
What it say? What it say on the back?
All right, this one says booed up.
Oh.
How long is it okay to be in a relationship with no marriage?
Oh.
Ooh, good question. Look at your little game.
All right.
Okay.
I see.
Now, there is a caveat. It does say if you believe in marriage.
Yes,
So that's-
exactly.
So I
Because
do
not everybody
believe,
believes in marriage.
I do believe in marriage. Honestly, I think after about 3 years, you start questioning.
Yeah.
If
2
you
for me.
Only reason why I say that is because the first year is really just a learning process, learning you as well as learning them.
Oh, yeah.
The second year is usually the building years where you guys are learning to be a couple, because that's a whole thing people have to do now too, is learn how to be a couple and not make everything about them and how they feel.
Ooh, yes.
You sometimes got to learn how other people feel in certain situations.
Mhm.
Oh,
So by
sorry.
that third year, y'all should kind of already be in y'all
My bad.
routine. Y'all should be building things already automatically together. Like you're staying together in an apartment anyway. You probably got one bank account for the bills in the household together. You're doing things, planning trips the whole 9 yards. So usually about year 3 is when we really should be looking at what's stopping you from getting married. Because believe it or not, we should have kind of had this conversation already in one shape or form. So whether we talked about it when we first started talking, like, oh, what do you feel about marriage? Yeah, I want to get married one day. Now here we are 3 days later. Say, what you feel about marriage? It shouldn't be I want to get married one day. The answer should be I do want to get married to you.
There you go.
But let's look at why. Because it could be financial. It could be your credit score is a 417, and then you got to get that up. It could be, well, I want to get a better job, or I really want to move to Texas instead of being here. Are you ready to make that move? Because that could be the make or break of whether or not I propose to you or not.
Right.
It could
Things
be a
line up.
few
Yeah.
things. Or maybe you just not marriage material yet, but you see the potential.
Can I interject?
Gotta line up. Yeah.
Am
Go
I able to
ahead.
interject? Okay.
Interject.
Remember we talked about is love enough?
Yes. I love that love is enough for you, Tommy, but go ahead.
I feel like that was some type of a dig, but I'm gonna keep on
No,
going.
love
No,
is- that's why she's trying to fly you out.
I believe that love can be enough in a circumstance that will expedite a marriage. I
love that.
I think that there should not be a time frame. And honestly, if it's too long, why are you like?
Why are we still here?
Why are we still here?
You
Kind
know,
of thing.
because
Yeah.
you're comfortable.
Sometimes you know
Why am I not worth you committing to on this level?
You know from the beginning. It's just like I heard that women know if they're going to have sex with you or not from the minute they meet you. Immediately. So
Right.
why is that not the same circumstance for a man to know that this is the person I'm going to be with? I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that happens. So if it's real love, if it's real true love, you're going to do everything possible to make sure that it works.
I agree.
So it shouldn't wait to like that whole like credit score and all that stuff. If my credit score is shot and I want to marry you, I know I need to, my credit score is I got to do some work.
Right.
I'm going to make it happen because I don't want her to look at me crazy because this is, we're bringing this together.
But that's from a man's perspective.
Okay,
Right.
let me ask
What
you,
if her credit's 417?
let me ask you women a question.
If I love her enough, we're gonna work. We're gonna work on it together.
I love
And
it.
but we have to have that conversation. Oh, my
Let me
bad.
let me ask you.
We got a little
Let-
like
let me ask you
we got a little
women.
thing on the
It's okay.
screen right here. I don't know what's
Oh,
going
that's
on here.
because I moved my arm.
Okay.
So it has nothing to do with the visuals that they see.
I kind of like not seeing it. It's kind of weird.
All right. Okay, here's my questions for you women. Let's say that the man that you're with proposes to you, and you say yes.
It's coming.
How long are you willing to stay engaged before you have to be like, what's going on?
No more than a year for me. No more than a year.
That's
It depends on. For me, it depends on what I want or what we want.
And see, I want
Person.
a small wedding.
So like,
I don't want like, you know what I'm saying, something extravagant. But go ahead.
yeah, I mean, I'm cool with the small wedding. Well, I want a destination.
I know.
wedding.
I would take a destination wedding too, but go ahead. Go ahead.
But I definitely want it to be small.
Okay.
I don't want everybody in Milwaukee and my stuff.
If I'm proposing, this
I just want my poor
we
people
ready.
there.
If I'm proposing, we ready.
No, because the reason why
I love
A
that.
year,
I
a
love
year.
Because the
that.
reason why I'm asking that, let's go with the credit part, because I've seen this happen a few times. You propose and you want to get married, but while having conversations with people, you find out, oh yeah, you know, when you guys get married, your credit score come out. So you had the 417 credit score, but you didn't know that by y'all getting married, it can affect hers. So
Right,
now,
or
Wants to
not
raise it up.
necessarily, or even in the sense of like, he knows that she has a 417 credit score, but he knows that he also loves her and he wants to.
that's what I'm
be
saying. Because
with
some
her.
people like,
Right.
I want you to
But
be
it's
the one
like-
with me, so I'm gonna propose to you. But now
Let's work
Let's
on some
work
other
on the
things.
credit.
we gotta
I
get
get
these
that.
And
things
actually,
fixed.
if you are
understand that.
loving enough, you know that that's a conversation you can have, and they trust you enough to actually make this thing happen. Because
Right.
otherwise,
And
people
that's
are
why I
afraid
asked,
to
how
actually
long
share.
are you willing to
My
wait?
credit score went up 95
like you-
points
like you
yesterday.
Amen.
Yes.
Like
I
you
was-
said, you're
I was a
only
little
willing
hyped.
to wait a year. So that
No
means we
more.
got a year to get you to at least 620.
Amen.
Right.
And it
That's a-
don't take that long. It doesn't.
It
take long
really
to raise your
don't.
core
It don't,
score.
but
Yeah.
you got to
But
be
it do.
disciplined.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to think about we fixing your credit and trying to buy and pay for it.
All right.
Yeah,
So she
that's
gotta love you.
destination
She gotta
wedding.
love you enough to
Destination
have those
wedding.
ramen
I got
noodles. Gotta love me enough to have.
And she gotta have some financial, literacy
for
you know,
sure.
some discipline.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
Well, she is an accountant, so I don't think
Well,
That
my
would be an
credit score ain't the
issue.
best, but I'm
But
just
that's
saying.
all right.
Hey, I'm 30
That is
credits
all right.
away from being an accountant. I don't want the degree, so kudos to you.
I just want somebody to help. I am willing to give my whole check to whoever and figure it out.
I
Just figure it out for me.
I
Help
wouldn't
me,
mind
please.
doing
So
that.
many, it's so many men that would not though.
Oh,
yeah.
That's
I
because
just
they
want
dealt with
to
women
be
in the past
swept
who didn't
away
know how to properly
and
manage
pick
money.
me up and just
I just tell me how much I got, how much I need. I mean, can I go get it?
Or
Can
they
I?
don't trust you enough.
So do
Tommy,
y'all believe?
you need 2 accounts. You need
Yeah,
one where your money
y'all
go
together
into, and then money where she just puts below
for
money you.
bills.
This is
Yeah.
what- here's $300 in your account from your last paycheck to go do whatever you want.
Right. You can stay on the budget.
Sometimes I can $30, $40. I just need some
$300
gas.
is just because she
Yeah.
don't
I need
want
some
you to
gas.
find out.
Right.
For me, the way I look at it, like y'all should always have your own accounts.
Right.
Yes.
Everybody needs their own money.
True.
Because
One account and two
definitely because we,
different
you know,
accounts.
my tenure,
One
we
account
did
together.
it where all of our money went into one account, all of it. His whole paycheck, my whole paycheck, we put it all together, and then most of my money is paying damn bills because he was making less than me. And then when it was time for me to go buy myself something that I wanted because I felt like I deserved it because I worked hard for
Yeah.
it, the money
Facts.
wasn't there because it all went on bills, which bills need to be paid, yes, but hell, you should have did more to have your half. You get what I'm
That's
saying?
why I
That's why
always
everybody
say
should
two.
have. Okay, you have a joint account for all the bills.
You have your
He got his
individual.
account, and
So how does that
I got
work?
mine.
Because in my previous marriage, we had our own account, and we were able to transfer from each other's account if we needed to pay the bills, and we just had communication. If I am giving you all my money to say, all right, can you whatever, and do you give me the money to put in my account, or I have my own money that I
Depends on how
save?
you-
Like
whatever
you
you
No,
feel
like-
talk
comfortable
about
with.
how much I'm going to
So,
contribute
like-
to the account, or
Because, like, for
Yeah.
example, my setup with my job right now, I can put 2 accounts on my paycheck,
I can
Yeah.
do that too.
so I can
or even if
split.
you can't.
Yeah, so I split and put a certain dollar amount that automatically goes in account 1, no matter what I made,
Mhm,
and then everything else extra goes into account 2.
mhm.
Okay.
That way, there's always a set amount going to the bills. So there's this one account where my bills auto draft out of that I never touch for any other reason.
Mhm.
And no matter what I did that week, there's always 2 deposits into that account, which will always cover the household bills.
Mhm.
So if I only have $7 in my personal account after everything, I only got $7 to work with. And that's
Yep.
how I kind of have my things.
Mhm.
When we had the joint account, we went to her bank. So she has her personal account, but the business account was at her bank, and I had my account completely across town.
Mhm.
That way, I deposit it in there, and then I tell her to send me what I wanted because I needed blow money.
Mhm.
So I needed money where I can go out and have a good time with the guys, and she managed all the bills and everything in regards to it. So if she needed to put extra in it, her bank is already connected to it, so she'll just transfer in what she needs. But at the end of the day, all my money went in there, and I'll just tell her to give me what I need for that weekend.
Mhm.
So whether it came out of her pocket eventually, or if it came out of what I put in the business account,
Mhm.
the family account, I should say. I would only say, hey, I need $100. I'm going out with the guys this week.
I think this is the part of marriage I kind of miss, that the accountability. The
Checks
accountability.
and balances.
Yeah, financial
Yeah.
accountability is something
Yeah.
I'm missing, and that's not that I'm like frivolous, but it would just help to be like I have a responsibility other than myself.
All right. So one final question for Lisa. You can pull the card, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap that up.
Should I pick the card for you?
Yeah, pick it for me.
Okay, because you over there, picking.
Yeah.
The top one gonna be easy because
I
it
know.
said manifestation.
I know she had manifestation
Yeah, we
already.
already had
This
it
is a
already.
blind pick right here.
Okay.
Ooh, what's it say?
Oh,
What it say? What it say? What it say?
Just friends?
Oh,
No, you know that's a good one for me.
let's
Probably.
see. Let's see.
Have you
Ask it.
have you ever been friend zoned by a man you wish to
Oh.
date? Yes.
You have? That doesn't go too often from the for the women.
We actually
Well-
do friend zone y'all more than y'all think we do.
Yeah, because it's a difference.
Okay.
And you know I have been.
I mean, if you're talking about somebody that you've previously dated,
And
that's
you know who I'm
different.
talking about.
That's different though, because y'all were previously together.
No, we weren't together. We've never been together.
Okay, we'll talk about it after.
Girl, you don't quit.
Okay. Are y'all still friends now?
I mean, technically, yeah.
So
I mean,
my question to you is,
been
if
friends
you,
with him for 20 plus years.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
If you were friend zoned and you get into a relationship with somebody else, would you maintain that friendship with someone that you're attracted to?
I mean, not on that level that we were. No,
Okay.
it's more so like
I like
a
that.
cordial thing, like what up? I see you, out or whatever, or maybe on your birthday, or
There's
something like
boundaries
that.
set.
Closing question.
Yep. That's,
If friend said, "All right, let's go,"
And you're single.
And
you're
I'm single.
single or not,
no.
Because if I'm not, then
It's off the
you missed the
table.
boat.
Yeah.
okay,
Because you friend zoned me when you could have dated me.
okay.
Amen.
But if I'm at this point for him, it still would be a no. But
She know too much.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's
We're gonna talk.
she know what I'm talking
there's
about.
a person out there that came up to me. I'm like, all right, I'm dropping everything.
Yeah. But I do have a person that if they were to come that way, then I'm talking about whoever. Goodbye.
GTD,
All right.
get the drugs.
Ain't nobody got time, Lord. Ain't nobody got time. So
GTD.
they didn't get to not even half of the questions that I
We
have
never do.
here.
You always create these heated conversations.
And extra questions in between.
Game night needs to
Listen.
just be by itself.
Right, you
Yes,
need to-
Bring the other
Lord.
person.
You need to come on
So
with
we
shine your
are-
light game.
We are absolutely going to have another show, a part 2, where we can come together and really, go over all of these questions in more detail. Please delete anything that you've learned about me personally today. But again, y'all, if y'all have tuned in, y'all are my family, y'all are my cousins and them. Thank you so much to the beautiful Lisa, for Miss Lisa for coming on the show, blessing us with her beautiful presence. She is such a queen. So thankful for her. Thank you so much, Tommy, for being in the building, blessing us with your
Thank you.
kingsmanship,
Thank you for having me.
all that
I
good
appreciate
stuff.
it.
We appreciate you. I love you so much, Tommy.
Love you too.
You always show up when I need you. So
because it's you.
I
That's all.
appreciate you more than you know. And shout out to Tony Tone for being in the building and being on the mic. We appreciate you as well. Thank y'all for shining your light. Thank y'all for watching us today, watching the show and being a part of the show. So until next time, y'all, we will see y'all soon.